I thought you were
Smash
about to
that
say-
like button.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
smash that
smash
like
the
button. Right, welcome back everyone to Wrath and Glory, the Grim Harvest campaign. We finished last session at Outpost Polaris. Would anyone like to give a quick recap for a potential Wrath point?
Well, I don't mind, but I can generate wrath like a motherfucker. So, do you want to, Simon? Because wrath
I mean-
is quite nice.
Wrath is nice. Wrath's
Yeah.
nice. I'm just trying to remember where we got to last time. Probably session 4 is a good starting point.
Session 4.
Right, okay, so... Jesus, how many pages of notes did I make?
Oh wow.
Like 3.
All of the notes.
A5, anyway.
Oh, Jay. Oh,
right, okay, so-
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus! So we accompanied 4 servitors to where they needed to be after Heptex asked us to do so. There was a servo-skull that members of the party observing us, and then a thick fog came rolling in. We nearly incite some riots though as we approached the actual farmstead with the servitors, but we, the group, managed to placate the majority of them, or pretty much all of them. I think a rock got thrown. To which we then had a chance to speak and convince some of the workers that the Mechanicus are not doing what the farmers are claiming that they're doing. And that was with Sister Argenta's help, doing some various sermons in the background while Paul was trying to do the speaking to the common man. We do eventually get to the cathedral, as bells begin to ring to begin worship, or a time of worship. Confessor Euphrates begins ceremony, basically said reinforces the imminence of the Grim Harvest, reinforces the safety of the Emperor, eventually notices us and beckons us over to speak with her on the side somewhere. I also wrote down somewhere that Sister Argenta had her head on a swivel while we were actually attending the sermon, to find someone covered in, and eventually found someone covered in machine oil. Apparently their friend was crushed the day prior, so there was maybe nothing of true suspicion there, but she certainly accused him of attacking a servitor. We mention to the confessor about the Children of Dawn, and she immediately regards this group of fanatics with disdain, or her own version of disdain. They've been causing trouble and problems generally, and also for her. They've just been a bit unruly. The conversation at one point seemed to get a little bit heated, but we do eventually get to more of an amicable dialogue. There's she sort of fills us in on a long history of rebellion, and that there was a decision to persuade all of the rowdy elements of the rebellion with an element of religion, or folding in many of their beliefs into the established religion to sort of placate them. Apparently they used to believe in the silos as a thing to believe in rather than the Emperor, as one of the things that we sort of flavoured it on.
That's right.
I think we sort of asked a couple of questions. One of the things that I also wrote down was that apparently the only person the confessor was aware of who claimed to hear the voice of the Emperor is now imprisoned at Outpost Polaris. And then I also said to Gerhart, Futon was the first who told the confessor to keep people away from the ruins. I can't remember why I wrote that down, but I wrote that down for some reason.
Heptex. No, sorry, not Heptex. Ugly man.
Oh,
I've got
Futar.
Yeah, Futar, yeah.
Futar told her a long time ago to keep people away from the ruins.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So we learnt a little bit about the Grim Harvest. Apparently it's an old pre-Enlightenment folktale, which the Ecclesiarchy has used and folded in. That was basically what I've already said. She doesn't know what's in the ruins, so I guess Heptex's statistics have gone down from 73% to 65%.
Clearly not 91.7.
Clearly not 91.7. But she does encourage people to stay away. So that seems to be like a common warning that both herself and the children of Dawn. Apparently that's just a common message throughout.
I mean, she could
Stay
be
away from
lying
the
to you.
ruins.
Yeah,
Be lying
we
to
didn't pick up. We weren't picking up what she's putting down. I suppose we didn't notice.
We do eventually make our way over to Outpost Polaris, which is where we find ourselves now. We spoke a bit with Colonel Billness, and eventually requisitioned some gear. So we managed to requisition, with Sister Rogetta's help, some flak armor for Paul, some dueling grips for Gerhart, and some bolter armor packs. Then we meet with the Colonel again, after having done the requisitioning, who gives us permission to speak with a prisoner called Forgus. He's apparently frightened and a bit manic when we go to see him, but we managed to calm him down. He apparently worked for the Children of Dawn, and was placed in a southwest field somewhere for work. Talked about Shades, or the Shades, and how they were taking people, taking them to the ruins. Also mentioned the Beast, which came one night, tore off his leg. Didn't really get much of a description around the Beast itself.
I think you got a description of fur. That was about it.
Yeah. Sort of iterated that the south is dangerous, and people should try and stay away. And he's also had visions in his sleep, a big sun always present. That's it. We've also been given this tank to burrow.
It's fair enough.
Whenever.
You met Colonel
Illness.
Billness, yeah.
as well.
My favourite moment about him, and I laughed when I watched it back. What's the the workers' names? The workers have names.
Yeah,
Why do we give them names?
The workers have names. Whoa.
It's like naming a wrench.
You wouldn't name a wrench.
Yeah. So funny.
He's great.
Yeah, that was great.
Wonderful. Right, I will
Wunderbar.
award you with a wrath. There you go. You have 3.
Yay.
Well done. So,
Session
thank you
5.
very much. I'm going to start the clock, and away we go. So, as it stands right now, you are all inside the Chimera. Its lovely Gravedigger's Regiment flag wafting in the breeze. Whether you choose to depart or do something beforehand, that is up to you, but you are all in there. So what would you like to do?
I'm getting in the seat, and I'm like in the cockpit, pressing some buttons, getting everything sorted, and I turn back and looking at Paul and Sister Argento, and I'm like, "Are you all buckled up?" Moving levers and shit.
Yeah, I'm ready. Just seems
All right.
praying on the floor, but I'm sure she'll survive.
We're gonna look at my data slate and check out the map, which I've got right here, and I believe it was the Sortium compound. Yes.
So
Was it the Habs?
You've not been to the Sortium compound, and if you've not been to the Habs,
Jolson.
So the Julcian complex is where you met Heptex.
Yeah,
Now,
we want to talk to
I'm not
Automo
gonna
14.
Yeah, I'm not going to put words in your mouths, but you were talking about going to see Automo 14, who was at the farm that's not
Oh,
on
okay.
the map. If you
then-
changed your mind, you can change your mind, but that's what you were talking about, was going to see Automo 14.
No, go.
Because that farm's right next to the ruins. Or very
Nice.
close to the ruins.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
it was within a few hours walking distance of the ruins, or at least the outpost that we slaughtered.
Yeah. So I kind of turn the key. Hear the hum of the massive engines kind of roar to life, and I pump on the pedal a couple times. Oh, it's been a while.
You hear this massive engine, that heavy stench of promethium burning, the diesel, as you can feel the power of this engine. The Chimera is well known for being the most widely used and most adaptable vehicle in the entire Astra Militarum army, and with you at the helm, you feel like you could go anywhere.
As I'm revving it, I turn around on my seat, looking back at Paul, and there's like a smile on Gerhart's face.
Wonderful.
Moving out to the farm. Head on a swivel.
All right.
Brilliant. So as you burn rubber, as they say, the two Astra Militarum guards hear the heavy tracks of the Chimera coming and make way to allow you to come through. And you can move it, I believe. Yes, you can. Fantastic.
Yeah, look at us go.
Look at you go.
Are you using
doing
UK rules for the side of the road we're on?
I've been using UK rules.
Cool. I mean, that's the right rule. Right side of the road is just weird.
Right, let me just make sure this scene is...
As I go past the soldiers, I'm gonna go brr, brr, the horn.
With the beep beep, you do frighten one of them who goes, oh, why did he do that? No need. Right. As you sally forth, you tear through the countryside of Ankara, heading through the fields with...
Oh, no.
You're not mounted.
We've been left.
You tear
No,
through.
it tends to forget when you switch from one scene to another.
Tear through the countryside, and you come alongside as it goes very quickly past. You come alongside more of the fields. It is a very familiar sight to you. Many workers out in the field, sowing and doing what they can, as well as these fields, including lots of agri servitors as well, doing their part. It appears...
Doing my part.
I'm doing my part. It appears that everyone is working together. There's no fighting, there's no arguments. It looks like a well-oiled machine. Something that perhaps you've had an influence on, or perhaps these particular fields are just more well integrated than some of the other ones. However, as you pull up towards the junction, you do notice a bit of a kerfuffle happening to your left in the nearest field.
Oh.
As you are going past, you see a rather old lady, clearly past her prime, out in the field. She looks very frail, poorly fed, malnourished. You can see the bones through her skin, very paper thin skin. And as she goes to stand up, she collapses and hits the floor with her head banging against a loose stone, causing blood to spout from her forehead. As this happens,
Eyes front, Gerhart.
as the yeah. Very good. As this happens, one of the servitors stomps over to the woman, and you see his eyes change a slightly different colour for a second. And shortly after, a tech adept appears with one of his Skitari guard. As they approach, people start to crowd round the poor woman, who is hurt on the floor. As a bit of a crowd starts to appear, as they're saying, What are they doing over here? What are they trying to do with Salatha? Get up, Salatha, you're alright. It was just a bang. Come on, get up. What? They're trying to take you away. As the tech adept approaches, and tries to change the voice mod without anybody noticing. But can't because it's downloading an update. Please move aside. We require to take her to the Jolcian complex. She is needed to propagate the field of Ankara. No, you all stay away. She just banged her head. You're not turning her into one of them. She's fine. Leave her alone. Please disperse yourselves. You see one of the overseers approaching, but keeping his distance, and wants to see how it will play out. This is what you see.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. So, Grimdark World, shit like this happens all the time. Would Paul even do anything in this moment?
Why don't you speak to Gerhart and find out?
Who's at the wheel?
Alright, okay. Okay, so I think Paul probably would then. He'd probably sort of lean forward and just say, Gerhart, trouble brewing in the field. Hold fire a moment before we keep driving by.
Let me spin around. I want to get a better look. I want to get to here.
Yeah.
I kind of drive along and so I can see out the window. And I kind of go to Paul. It might be interesting to see how they handle this natively without us interfering. What do you think?
Might be wise. There are things I can do to interfere if needed, as that don't cause any trouble. Any undue pain. But no, I see the wisdom in that decision. We've already made a name for ourselves. We would we would provide an imposing presence.
Yes, let's just see how they handle this, and if this is to spec, so to speak. If anything is untowards, we can step forth. And I'm gonna peer out the window.
Please step aside.
It's working.
Please step aside. She is required at the Jolcian complex. She is old and frail. Her time in the fields, in her current state, are suboptimal. We will improve her and make her a useful tool of Ankara. No, you can't do it! You can't! It's not fair, it's not right! She's fine! She's got a family at home, what are they gonna do? Her family will be provided for. She is a tool of the Emperor now. This is written, and it is so. Do not interrupt our work. And the Skitari Ranger, wielding wielding their galvanic rifle, gestures to the labourers to move away. The overseer still stands back and observes.
So I guess we're still observing. Violence hasn't yet broken out.
Father Mechanicus are doing what they are said they are doing. If she no longer can work, and her toils cannot be completed, then she must be servatized.
I suppose that is the way. Although, what's to say she couldn't have had at least another few weeks were she given attention at the cathedral first? And then if they then deemed that she was now no longer fit, we would offer the family a period of mourning. An opportunity to say goodbye. Perhaps that might also afford the people less... Oh, what's the word I'm thinking of? Animosity. Or at least feelings of that nature towards the Mechanicus that seem so cold and brutal.
What you say is more than likely true. However, when looking at the bigger picture, food supplies are already low in Ostia and within the system. Doing such a thing and setting a precedence could slow and lower the amount of food already so scarce. The greater good is far above any one person. This goes for you, me, or any person, any soul within the system.
I see what you're putting down. I suppose as long as there isn't abject violence, there is no need to intervene.
You
Let's
must
just watch.
You must step aside now. Any further delays will render the body inoperable. My calculations predict that she has suffered a hematoma. This is 47.666 recurring % chance. If we do not get her there, she will die, and she will be wasted. Move now, and we can save her, and she can still be of use to the Emperor.
Well, that is compelling evidence. She would not have time, if that was the case, to go to the cathedral.
So, begrudgingly and without violence, the other labourers step back and allow Salitha to be picked up, and they march off quickly, taking her off to the Julcium complex. The overseer, observing what's happened, heads back and leans against the fence as the labourers all begin their work again. And life continues in the grim, dark universe of Warhammer 40,000.
Looks all above board, Paul. I did not
No.
see a fault.
No. It was probably wise to maintain vigilance. I just saw people grouping together. We were in the area. We had an opportunity. We weren't
So
needed.
far, so far, the Mechanicus have shown objectivity. They have not given me any reason not to trust them. This is only further galvanizing my approach to the Mechanicus. Though, whether Futar is the same is yet to be seen.
Yeah. I ain't too sure about Futar. Seems from the beginning he was expressed quite a strong desire for us to side with one or t'other. The Ecclesiarchy or the Mechanicus.
It is quite polarizing, and that is not what we're here to do. We're here, or at least I am here, to restore the balance and bring food back to Ostia and the greater Gilead system. However that is done, it does not matter. Whatever is most efficient and will save the most lives.
I wonder what Futar's angle is on the ruins. Why was he the first person to tell the Confessor to keep people away from the ruins? And when was that?
It is very interesting. Until we know what's exactly inside them, we won't know. Was this done pragmatically? Was this done for reasons to keep Ostians safe? Or was it a more nefarious reason? Is there power, technology, xenos? And if he knows that a xenos are on Ostia and did not report it, this is heresy.
I agree. Paul looks over.
Back to work. One of the people toiling in the field said, "Be right back." You don't stop working.
Yeah. If you needed to be right back, you should have got to the loo before you came to the field.
You'll be sabotaged for us.
So silly. Yeah. What to do about Futar? I don't know about him. I don't know where his allegiances lie.
When we first saw him, I thought to myself, just looking at him, he looks like an asshole. But
oh yeah, he looks like a brown noser, right?
Yeah. But as soon as he said, "Stay away from the ruins to the ecclesiarchy," that's just without a reason. It just sounds so strange. It's almost like if you were to hide something there and then use a religious text or some sort of fear to keep people away, it'd be the perfect place. It's like a blind spot to hide whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm just trying to remember. I'm just trying to recall the number of factions there are on the planet at the moment. So you've obviously got the military. That's where we got our vehicle. You've got the Mechanicus. You've got the ecclesiarchy, and then who's Futar with? He's with the admin guys.
Adeptus Administratum.
Yeah, Administratum. So I don't know where they sit on all this, but I guess if he's from the Administratum, their entire shit is about administering all information.
Yeah. I mean, you haven't gone to the Adeptus Administratum location in Ankara, so it's hard for you to know.
Yeah, we were headed that way anyway.
The fuck is that?
Before we got ambushed, I think. Yeah. Because we were going to try and put in an official request in that we knew would take days to process.
That's right.
I don't even know where that is.
It's called the Sorting Compound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If we know this, maybe it's something we can do while we've still got this vehicle. We do have the ability to move from place to place, and it'd be a shame not to use it.
Yeah. I think there is some wisdom in that.
So, we're going to have to get Sister Argenta not to blurt what we know out.
Oh, she seems to be busy praying at the moment.
But when she wakes up from that prayer, she says the first thing that comes to her head, and she has absolutely no tact whatsoever.
Oh, no, she definitely does not. I agree.
I start heading towards the Ultimo while we're talking. Which way that is. I think it's this way.
Here's hoping she can't actually hear us while she's praying.
So,
she's taking the religious bus.
Just to give you the context, just in case you weren't aware. Dooby dooby doom, dooby doom, dooby doom. Right. So, did that show everybody? Mm-hmm. Simon, you can see that? Yeah. So that's your map. The Sortium compound is sort of just south of the silos. Ultimo would be past the Sortium compound down towards the ruins.
Oh yeah, somewhere between the two, yeah.
Somewhere, yeah, you're kind of in that middle ground, sort of just southwest-ish down from the Julcium complex. So it's up to you if you want to change your minds on where you're going. But if you want to go to Ultimo and then to the Sortium compound, you're kind of going back to go forward, if that makes forward to go backwards.
Yeah, so Ultimo technically would be the last person we would visit then.
Automo would be Automo's kind of like the last farm before the forest, and then onto the ruins.
Yeah. So I guess it depends if we want to go to the Julcian complex first or the Sortium complex. Would you want to speak with Heptex, or would you want to speak with the Administratum?
It could be risky going to the Administratum. We wouldn't know who or if Futar is in league with or even guilty of anything. But if he is, we'll have no idea who else knows what he may know.
No.
I'd prefer to keep the element of surprise for as long as possible. If there is nefarious acts against the Emperor's will.
I suppose if we ever get to the ruins and the Children of the Dawn haven't refilled that posting, we should at least try and look out for any signs that may point back to the Sortium or to the Administratum, or more specifically Futar.
I say we go to Automo. From there, we head to the ruins. Whatever evidence we can collect, if anyone is of a guilty party, they'll be on the back foot. We could take it straight to the Administratum, to Heptix, or I could talk to Arkia, my chapter cap. What is he called? Chapter captain?
Akia, yeah, your chapter master.
Or my chapter master, directly. Either way.
People tend to react in ways that are telling, one way or another, if they're on the back foot. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's keep a low profile for now. Ever since that skull was following us around, I've been a bit on edge.
Yeah. On that note, I think Paul just tries to sort of look out the window to see if there is a skull still floating around.
Sure, give me a
Not my strongest suit, but I'm imagining perception. No, awareness.
I'm assuming it would be yeah, give me an awareness DN7.
Ho 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 ho! Ah! Well, I've got a dice pool of 4.
Well, give it a go.
Possible.
If I'm scanning the place as well, is that considered any way of helping?
If you're both looking out, and you're both looking out for something very particular or very specific, I would allow you to add whoever's dice pool wants to as bonus die.
I think the way I'd be looking out, maybe not specifically for the skull, but I would be, as per my training while driving, surveying areas, especially because we got shot with a rocket, so I'm just maybe hyper vigilant. So whether or not that's considered a help, I don't know. But I don't know if I would be specifically looking for a skull.
So I guess Paul would specifically look for a skull.
Yeah, I'm just
So
thinking,
which way round would that help go then?
if Gerhart is sort of solely focused in that kind of that vision in front of him, rather than looking around trying to find something, I'm going to make a homebrew just because I want to move things forward and say you can use half his bonus die.
Okay. In this instant.
In this specific instant, just to move things forward, half bonus die, because he is
what?
specifically looking.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be a 7 total. My bonus die is 6, but I haven't, with my automatic, it gives me a +1, so total's 7. So I guess half is
So it'd be
3
4.
or 4?
Yeah, 4.
Alright,
Always round up.
cool. Wow.
You
Did
have
get a point of wrath.
you have got Wrath if you want to reroll.
I don't see the result.
Oh,
Let me refresh.
you got 3 successes and
Excellent.
6 failures. You got 4 ones.
Sure, I probably would use a Wrath then. I may as well use the one that I got. Oh, there, I see it now.
That's
right,
weird.
Okay. Click, click.
You got a you got a 6 on your wrath critical, but it didn't come up as a
Oh yeah, we should have a glory, right?
Is that? That's not automated. That's weird. We'll keep an eye on that. That's definitely a 6. Oh, there's the wrath
there you
critical.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh, it's because okay, because the
Oh,
wrath
yeah.
critical probably didn't get automated because I overall failed.
No, it should still be a wrath critical. Like, regardless of whether you pass or fail, a wrath crit and a
okay.
wrath complication is always a wrath crit or a wrath complication.
Yeah. All right, so I used the point of wrath. I re-rolled. Success
You've
of
got
9.
a 9, so you've got 1 that you can shift if you want. So you can give yourself another point of glory, or you can ask for a better outcome. You can do whatever you want. Your choice.
If we're going to, I'm going to take the point of glory.
Yeah. Fair.
Let's build a small pool of glory.
And I was wrong last session. You're capped at 6, not 5.
Right, but we're still capped. So once we start getting close to 6, we may as well start using them.
So, thank you very much. With your awareness test, you do spot a servo-skull. It is in the distance, it is following you, and with the Wrath Critical, I will say that you know it to be the exact same servo-skull that's been following you ever since you've spotted it. So you know it's the same servo-skull. You do see it, and it is following you. Hi, Ed. Nice to see you.
Hey,
Mad.
fuck y'all. Have we discussed the blood first yet?
No.
The red
First.
first. Sorry. The red first. I've just come back. Give me a fucking break, Tom. I'm sorry. I'm not shouting at God.
He gets grumpy when he sprints.
Very
I
good
know.
sprints.
I hate cardio!
No, there's been no talk of wrath of red thirsting.
But I guess we are taking we've started a route that would be like the longest possible route so far. So there's
There's
opportunity
plenty of time
here.
for it, yeah.
Yeah. So we've
But
just passed the first field.
you have seen the servo skull. You know it's the same one that's been following you all along, and I'm assuming, unless you're going to stop and try and do something with the servo skull.
Paul would so while we've been driving, Paul's been sort of looking around, and he would probably say, not to alarm anyone, but I think we've got a friend. And then he would sort of
Specifics.
point in the vague direction that he would see it.
For context, the skull will be cutting across fields to keep up with you, because you're now in the Chimera.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul. What is that range on that thing you do when you crush things?
Let me consult my manual. It is. Sort of lined it up. I reckon I could get it from within 20 meters.
How far is it roughly?
How far is it roughly?
Just under 10 meters, 9 meters.
I could get it.
Ooh.
When we pass these fields and away from the farmers and servitors, turn it into a tin can.
All right.
Lord Gerhart, did you see whether it was from the Mechanicum or not?
I think we tried to determine that last session and we couldn't.
I know, but she doesn't know, so she's asking.
No,
I tried
hang
to
on.
put a data slate in it. I could not crack it.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
So,
I see.
just so you do know, or to remind James, because James went right up to him. James did see the cog and skull symbol of the Mechanicus when he saw it. so he knows it is
okay.
of Mechanicum origin.
Right. Okay. So we know it's with Heptex's faction, basically.
Well, it has the Mechanicum skull on it, and when Gerhart spoke to it and asked whether it was Heptex, the skull kind of bobbed as a response. Just in case you forgot that, but...
Right, yeah, I did forget that. Okay. I guess with that in mind, I guess we could say... Paul would probably say then, I guess Heptex has still got his eye on us.
Seems odd, though. Heptex gave us a mission. We fulfilled it. Why he is fooling us? But first, if I'm wrong, to destroy something of Mechanicus, if I'm right, take it active.
Is anyone else's Discord gone very jittery?
Everyone's at a robot right now.
It's stabilized.
Ooh, packet loss nearly at 50%.
Discord's having a moment.
Oh, there we go. Back in.
Yes,
Okay,
seems to
that's
be
better.
Yeah.
Lord Gerhart does raise a point, Paul. Just because it has the symbology, he's right to be concerned. It made all servitors should have some form of signifier that they're part of the Mechanicum. The Administratum has servitors, and most definitely the Adeptus Sororitas utilize them. We don't know for sure if that's even a servitor of Heptex.
I suppose you're right. If you still want me to crush it, I will.
When you use your tricks, are you able to keep them concealed? Could you do it from within the Chimera?
As long as I can see it, I can do it. No one need know it'd be me. Though anyone who is sensitive to the ways of the warp will know that the usage of the warp is done. So but for me,
It'd be on my orders.
For me, it would only
Crush
be,
it.
you know,
And the Mechanicum is anything but inept when it comes to the warp.
Not take any risks.
they would not necessarily know it was me specifically, but you know,
Yes.
if you've got half a brain, you could put two and two together.
All crush it.
All right. He looks out of the window, and presumably he's been given the order once we've gotten away from the fields and slightly out of sight. He'll pick a moment when it's as close as possible, and then just sort of reach out, crush it with his mind.
Go for it. Roll your attack if you can.
cool.
I don't know if I need something to target, or if I should just roll it.
Can't you target that?
Oh yeah, there it is. Got it. Okay.
That's a cool visual, by the way. I'm just like,
Okay, click crush. What's the DN? It says 5, is that correct?
Yes, because he's got a defense of 5, that's right.
Cool. Okay, cool. And roll.
Clickety clackety. That's a nice, easy success with a 7. A possible shift if you need.
And I'm also going to shift.
Our boy's got a lot of willpower.
Yeah. Do I go? I don't need potency. Let's go glory.
Must have fucking absolute chiseled abs. That dude does not snack at night.
No.
Right.
That's 1 ED. That's still not doing it right, apparently. Oh wait, no, it is. It is.
He's not done the
I've
not
shifted for
shifted.
extra damage, so it does a base of 10, unless my success is so high that I can shift it for extra damage.
Oh, I thought we found out that crush was 10 plus 1 ED as a base, and then shifting anything else would be extra than that.
I don't know. I thought
that's
the ED.
right.
I thought the
successfully
ED stood
activate.
for. It's 10 plus any extra dice that you earn.
No, because my chainsword, for example, is 5 plus 4 ED, and it reads the same as your crush.
Oh no, it has rolled the ED because it's 5.
Oh yeah,
It rolled
so
the
its damage
5.
is 10 plus 5.
Yeah, so it's got it should, but it's not calculated the 10 plus 1.
Yeah, so it
I
should be
don't.
11.
Hang on, I don't know. Let's
Wait,
see.
hang on. Let me just read. Crush. Damage. So it does 10 plus 1 ED damage.
Yeah. Which you've got. You've done the ED, and you've got an extra wound for that, or an extra damage. Let me apply damage. See what that does. No, it didn't do it right. No, it applied 8, and it's got resilience at 2. Should have applied a 9. Amazing. So, Paul, tell me what you do as you annihilate this servo-skull. Annihilation being inflicting double its wounds.
Okay, so we are driving. We are driving. We've passed the fields. We wait a couple of moments. We're tracking the servo-skull as it sort of cuts across the fields. We begin to sort of go into the intermediate space between fields. Trees are picking up. We go round a corner, and as soon as Gerhart says, "Do it," Paul reaches his hand up to his temple, hand out in front of him, and just goes. And with his hand crushing, the skull just like implodes on itself into a nugget, crashing into the field.
Jesus.
Just like you would imagine. What was that submarine? That private submarine that crashed. In the Atlantic?
my god,
The
yes, the
Titanic?
billionaire submarine!
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. So.
It just kind of goes. Like within the blink of an eye, it's just dust, or like a little nugget that falls to the ground.
As it's just crushed, as if being teleported to the center of a star, its size just bone fragments, teeny tiny powders dust away, and you see the electrical short out as it falls to the ground, barely a pebble of its former self, a splinter. And you can continue unabated.
I look out the left wing hand mirror, I smile, and
Nice.
Does
I mean-
Argenta seeing the targeting sites?
Oh yeah, now Argenta's here. Where are you, Argenta?
In the tank?
Are you a passenger, or are you popping your head out, mounting the heavy bolter? What do you want to do?
Well, okay
It's up
then.
to you.
What you know what? I depending on what equipment we have in it, I want to say whatever the largest weapon is, she will be manning it. Also, actually, do weapons in tanks require pilot or ballistic?
Ballistic, yes, because it's ballistic skill to shoot it.
I don't fucking know.
No, I'm just telling you, it's ballistic skill to shoot it.
Okay,
but you don't need to have. It's not pilot to have it.
Just wanted to make sure, that's all, just because it is a vehicle.
Yeah.
She'll be on the largest weapon that is in it.
Nice. So
I
Just
assume
everybody.
cannon.
So, you are, because I believe Gerhart. Oh no! So you be sat in front of the multi-laser, a very powerful instrument of war that has destroyed tanks and leveled buildings. Yes, Gerhart.
So I rolled my objective, right?
Yeah.
Ah, shit! I forgot to do that.
And it says apply the wisdom of the Codex Astartes to a situation.
Ooh.
Would the little plan I made, being undetected, not alerting people to what we want to do, and if there is like heresy going on, going about it in a stealthy-like way, like as my scout person would be applying the wisdom of my codex and almost like the art of war.
I'm not going to give it to you yet. Not yet. Cool.
Right. So she's looking at the cannon, she sees that, and she just eyes it, looks away from the multi-laser. Well done there, Paul. I very much see why the Inquisition very much uses people of your talents. We don't know if that was a servant of Heptos, because if it was, as she looks over to Gerhart, we seem to have, especially Gerhart over here, a good enough relationship where he would have told us if he was going to do such actions. Leads me to believe this could be someone else, and from what we've seen so far, especially with our conversations with the Confessor, people on this planet are keeping things from us.
Unfortunately so, and it has gotten in the way of our duty already.
Yeah.
No more road humps, no more speed bumps. We do this clear-headed and like a spear, straight through.
Yes. Like a giant multi-laser through a disgusting vile xenos.
And with Argenta's version of a hard-on, you progress onwards. I believe we are still heading to the farm. Yes.
Yeah, Automo. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I would take a moment while we're driving here to address two things, or maybe three things.
Yeah.
Three birds with one stone.
Come on.
Thing number one, he would reply to Sister Argenta and say, I'm glad you noticed. The Scholasticum are diligent in their efforts in training absolute control and mastery before they're even allowed to enter the world again. That is why we are sanctioned. Now, on that note, it's fair to say I've got some experience with holding at bay certain urges. Gerhart, if you don't mind me asking, you seem to go into some kind of fervor when we get into combat. If it is of interest to you, I could maybe try and impart upon you the wisdom and some of the teachings and disciplines that the Scholasticum has imparted upon me. And so that was stone one. That stone two was the question to Gerhart, and stone three is my objective for the session, which is extol the virtues of your training in honing your already considerable willpower. It's like you handed that to me on a plate.
I'll give you that. Yeah, take a wrath.
So yeah, no. So he's replied to Sister Argenta and now asked Gerhart, or now spoken for the first time about some of his frenzy that he sometimes goes into.
Mm-hmm.
I would be all too happy to help train some restraint if that is something you would like. Especially if we're going into the ruins and you've just said you would like us to be of clear mind.
If not saying that what you're saying is true, the heat of battle does take me. But I am of my own mind. Let's say for argument's sake, that there was a way to control yourself better if you were out of control. Whatever would that be? Of course, completely hypothetically.
Of course. Hypothetically, he would go. So this is where I, the player, don't know too much about 40k's training disciplines for Psykers. But he would try to sort of go on and describe some of the more demanding things that he will have been subject to that will have forced him to become more mentally resilient. Either be it mantras or being put into ever increasing, I guess, both psychological pressure
Okay.
to succumb but overcome, but designed to overcome.
Would you like me to fill in a little bit of potential lore-friendly stuff?
Sure.
Go on. Do it for him.
Okay. So, Gerhart, Poul, you describe to Gerhart some of the arduous training that you had to go through at the Scholastica Psykana. You explain to Gerhart that the mind needs to be understood like the physical presence that it is. It's been very common within sanctioned Psykers and Psykers as a whole that the power that comes from their mental fortitude, it is a physical reality. You're much more attuned to the goings on in your head and your brain. And you explain to Gerhart that one of the many tricks of the trade, or the teachings of the Psykana, is to build a very real, very physical fortress within one's own mind. And it's something that is honed over many, many years of training and meditation and hard work, but with the diligence and the determination, it is possible to mentally construct these physical boundaries, this fortress of solitude almost within one's own mind. And once you have mastered this, your mind will be your own.
And he'd probably sort of add into those metaphors also. If you are the master of your fortress, you could be the master of its trellises, the master of its drawbridge, taking in what you find useful that you can usefully apply on the battlefield. If this fervor is useful to you, you can be its master, rather than you, it. And then he would sort of, like, he would sort of, without going into some of the more graphic atrocities of the Scholastica, give that kind of overview of the kind of thing that he does. I acknowledge that it will take some time, but if we get it out of this alive, we can certainly get it going.
Ed looks like he's about to burst.
Not burst. I would just like to see if there's a check she could make to know if, because she saw the red first, but does she know what the red first is? Like, she's heard of the Blood Angels fighting with the Battle Sisters before, but she doesn't know how. I assume she doesn't know how.
So, you didn't say in your background anything about Argenta specifically fighting with Blood Angels.
No. As in, like,
I'm happy
a
for
battle
you
of, like,
to do. I'm happy for you to
she
do.
hasn't.
I'm happy for you to.
But it. Sorry. Go on. I'm not saying she has before.
I'm happy for you to do a scholar test
Boom.
to potentially remember any times where you might have read about fights with sisters, blood angels, all the rest. However, as you would know, Ed, the Red Thirst is a bit of a closely guarded secret that the Blood Angels don't really like to talk about. So it will be a high DN. It will be a DN 10.
Whoa.
Oh,
Fair.
shit.
No way she's getting that.
What's your dice pool?
Oh, shit.
Oh, with that
Yeah,
dice
yeah.
pool, it's entirely possible.
It's not that.
I mean, it's sort of possible if you got like exalted icons on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got a lot of exalted.
No,
ones, so.
Yeah.
You think back, you can recall of glorious battles where the Blood Angels and the Sisters have worked in tandem. You recall that the Blood Angels, they fight with the fervour and the ferocity that you would usually associate with your other sisters, but the Red Thirst doesn't come to mind.
Well, you fought with such ferocity, Lord Gerhart. As much of your kind has. But it was more just around, would she recognise that he's a blood angel? Because she doesn't know that the absolvers are. Right. You fight with such fervour, Lord Gerhart, that the angels of the Emperor do. I've heard many tales of your kind fighting with such thirst, but I have never seen anything like it in person. To be fair, you're the first of your kind I've ever seen in person in my life.
The heat of battle can sometimes take us all. It is sometimes dark, sometimes macabre. But everything I do is for the Emperor and for the whole of the Gilead system. I do this no matter how dark it must become for the people.
Well, Poul seems to have some form of mastery over such vile powers.
That's an understatement.
Perhaps his wisdom may be something worth imparted even as someone such as exalted as yourself.
I am still in control. That I must admit. That I do lust for battle. But my mind is still my own.
We all lust for the death of the heretic and the xenos, but I certainly haven't seen such blood dripping from the mouth. But I know nothing of your kind.
Homophagia. We have the ability to absorb memories through flesh. I use this often in battle to make sure I understand my enemy thoroughly in order to kill them more efficiently. That is all you will see.
That makes total sense. We should see your mouth covered in blood more often then, Lord Gerhart.
I'm satisfied. You say your mind is your own. Who am I to doubt you, Lord Gerhart?
But thank you for your
That is-
concern, Paul.
That is quite some ability. How does that present itself to you?
Flashes like a record on a player that skips. You only hear partial parts of the song. Scratches, it's fuzzy. You see images, feelings. It's not an entire picture. It's scraps of a book.
Puzzle pieces to be placed in the right order.
Exactly.
So is it like a Vox sermon, where the priest doesn't say the entirety of the hymn, but just segments of it?
Pretty much. From my understanding, as we can metabolize the flesh and extract it, the energies of that being, and from it, its memories. Know thine enemy.
Is it just people that you can do this with, or... I'm sorry, I would never wish for you to have to suffer through putting vile xenos in your mouth, but would you...
Would that not be better than our own kin?
My ability to extract memories is not bound by humankind.
Poor Gerhart, I feel so sorry for you for putting such vile potential flesh in your mouth. I wish you never had to do.
It is but a pittance for the Emperor's will.
By
They
his
don't
name.
call you angels.
We're getting some soul searching here. That's nice. For those who may be insightful, or you do, even though there's a calm, cool, collected exterior, there is a voice of, when speaking back to you, trying to say that he's of his own mind and there's no issue, almost playing it off. There is a hint of doubt. For those maybe perceptive enough to hear it, but almost like lying to himself, not so much lying to you.
I mean, with a dice pool of 2 on insight, it's unlikely I'm going to pick up on that subtlety just yet.
I've only got a 3.
I don't know if... James, were you attempting to lie about the omophage, or was that misreading the implant?
Maybe I misread the implant. I didn't have it up in front of me. I just was
that's all right. That's all right.
just going.
Yeah. So you would know on the omophage that you can recall people's memories when you consume the meat,
Yeah.
not the blood.
So he's
Yes. So it's taking that part I knew. I'm taking a half.
Yeah,
half
that's
truth.
fine.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure whether it was a half truth or like a
Yeah, that's what made the player thought Gerhart was doing in this moment.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing.
okay.
I thought you were going to say about the whole Xenos thing. That I didn't know, but I just was.
No.
playing it off.
That's that. No issue with that. It was just I wasn't sure if, because I was going to say someone could do an insight 3 on it to see whether they can pick up on that kind of hiding half truths.
Yeah, but we
I mean,
wouldn't know.
I'm happy to give it a roll. I just know it's unlikely for me to pass.
It'd be very hard for you to pass with the dice pool of 2, but
Ah, fuck
it's
it,
up to
go
you.
I mean, I am present. I suppose there is always an innate sense of one to try and intuit.
Sister Argenta is not successful.
Nope.
DN3, you said.
DN3.
Yeah, not. I did
Two
not
sixes,
pick
you
up
could've.
on any deception.
Okay.
be lying. I'll be
Gerhart gets away with it. Okay. And-
Sounds plausible.
Okay. Anything else we want to do before we arrive at the farm?
Me going to the loo, but I suspect this is going to be largely a conversation between Gerhart and Ultimo.
That's fine. So, as you drive up to the farm, you recognize the old crusty building as it looks like it's about to fall down, but propped up with the cabling, wires and tubing so associated with the Adeptus Mechanicus. As you arrive, there is a dune crawler parked out front of the building, and the servitors are still toiling away in their farm. It is just coming up to about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Gerhart, you approach the farm, and once again you see the barred door with a handprint outside.
Put my hand on.
As you place your hand on the handprint, the door goes from being locked to open, and you gain entry into the farm building. Again, you see 3 of the TAC adepts sat working diligently on their cogitators, barely giving you a moment's notice. Aside from that, there is nothing else in the room.
Ultimo, there's Brother Gerhart. I have returned.
As you shout that, a servo-skull floats over, opens the door before scurrying back and attending to its various different works. Ultimo is dashing between the buildings, looking at dashing across the room, looking at test tubes, taking various measurements, scanning, going back to his cogitator, inputting data, barely giving you a notice. He looks up and gives you a cursory glance before carrying on with his work.
Ultimo, I will be heading to the ruins any moment now.
The ruins, Gerhart.
There he is. Yes,
You attempt
I
to
said
enter the
I would.
ruins.
I would. I said I would return and that I would tell you when I was going to do so.
This is a good routine for you. There should be more of the flesh like you.
I appreciate that, Ultimo.
When you go to the ruins,
Yes.
will you tell me what you find?
Not only will I tell you what I find, but I might be able to bring something back.
Heptex goes a little bit silent and his eyes start to the red pupils start to flicker slightly and jitter.
Okay.
Automo, I'm guessing means Automo.
Sorry, Automo, yeah, Automo.
Do you have the servo-skull with you?
Which one?
Lord Heptex sent Kaslikos van de Snipe to assist you, follow you, record your goings-on in Ostia. Is it here? I need to input data.
Shit.
Right. No, the servo-skull is not with us, unfortunately, Ultimo. Nor will it ever be.
Query. Why?
It was destroyed.
who destroyed Casticos?
I did.
Why did you kill Casticos?
There's been a development with one of the administratum. I had reason to believe that he may have been using a servo-skull to follow our movements. Someone from the administratum told the ecclesiarchy to stay away from the ruins at all cost. This I find highly strange, considering we have found evidence of xenos activity. I had reason to believe, and thought on the fly, that in this particular case we were being spied on, and I wanted to go to the ruins without potentially alerting undercover enemies within the Imperium. It would seem I was incorrect. I apologize.
Cogitating.
Should have fucking told us.
Casticos had been in the service of the Emperor and the Mechanicum for 563 years, 3 months, 2 hours, and 37 minutes Terran time. His vigil ends now. I will update the records. But
Why did they tell us?
And Heptex goes to the back of the room, and you see a large, ornate cupboard at the back. As he opens the door, a draft of super frozen air kind of comes out, and he picks out a couple of things.
Janitor Heptex bid me give you this and install it should you wish for your help with the servitors.
As he, in his mechadendrites, holds a augmetic eye.
Ooh.
Thank you. This is a boon. Why weren't we updated that we would be followed by a servo-skull? This would have been important to know.
Do you believe that the Mechanicus are not always watching? Query.
No, that is not the case. I was more concerned that there was foul play and one of the Mechanicus's servitor skulls was being used for that foul play. Of course, in this instance, I was incorrect.
I see. Margin for error is slight, even if minuscule. There is always the chance. We are always watching. Knowledge is power.
And if not to demonstrate my point, Automo, knowledge is power. If in future you are going to have us watched and followed, I would very much appreciate being updated on such things. For as you say, knowledge is power.
Automo kind of clocks his head a little bit. Some of the mechadendrites in his arms kind of switch, almost flexing.
When it comes to the Adeptus Mechanicus, and the blessed Omnissiah, it is best to assume you are always being watched by us, not the counter.
We would assume that always being watched, then, Ultima. Then every single servitor-skull that we see, if compromised, or an enemy servitor-skull or spy drone, we would then simply dismiss as Mechanicus and leave ourselves open. The Adeptus Astartes do not bank on these kind of things. We think of every outcome, no matter how minuscule. Our lives and those of Ostia are finite.
Take that, Automo. You're right in your logic circuits.
Yeah,
Tell us, you
and your
robot
logics.
bitch.
Also trying to apply the Codex Astartes.
I was gonna say, I will give you the wrath for applying the wisdom of the Codex Astartes. Because that's fair. That's fair.
Lord Gerhart, it is understood that you are, like all absolvers, forever vigilant. But the holy code written into the servo-skulls, it is improbable that anyone would be able to decipher and hack into their control augments. Probability sits at 3.782%.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's always a chance.
Everyone has
Well, I do
servers.
hope you are correct. Now, before we do go, as I do not wish to discuss semantics too much, I do have a couple of requests if you have the time for it and the ability to do so. I want to be as prepared as possible whilst going into these ruins. I have 2 mortals at tow, and I do not wish to get them killed, so the better prepared I am, the better prepared they will be. I have here a weapon of my choice and an upgrade that I would like attached to it. I also have a augmetic here that I would like to have installed if you have the proficiency to do so. Is this within your ability to do?
Affirmative. My office works as my workshop. I am skilled and trained in the blessing Omnissiah of the augmetics. I can tinker with your holy chainsword should you wish, but these all take time. What would you have me do first, in his name?
In his name, I would have you work on the chainsword and then install this augmetic. Though, I would like to know the chances of successful implantation, if you may.
Cogitating. Cogitating very hard. Hang on. It's something about...
And I obviously show him the implant, the Auspex. I'd like the Auspex version, the scan.
Yeah, that's fine. War gear. Augmatics 242.
Sorry guys, I'll be done
Installation.
soon.
It is...
No worries.
I just got a little bit of an argument with Automa, but it was very, very cordial.
It was very cordial.
So the DN is the...
Everyone has fucking servo skulls.
Everyone does have servo skulls, but what he said is correct. Always assume the Omnissiah is watching. Right, so the DN would be the value of the augmetic.
Lie down. Oh, sorry, not you. The dog.
Lie down, bitch.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Such a coxman.
Right, so the auger array has a value of 4, so it's a DN4, and it will take 4 hours to install.
I think if we're going into the ruins, being able to scan people is good. So basically, me asking him what's his chances of successfully installing, it's basically going, are you fucking techie enough to do it?
How do I say this in a
My abilities are well stressed. I have a 75% chance of successful installation of this auger array.
And I add glory to it, if need be.
Yeah.
Good thing we've
And
been
there's Raph.
building up that glory point, glory pool.
And am I able to spend Wrath even though it's his test, but it's got to do with me? Does that
Yeah,
work?
yeah. So I think we said before, when it comes to installations of augmetics, as long as it's a friendly NPC who's installing it, not just like a nobody, as long as it's a friendly NPC who has your best interests at heart, I'll allow you to use your wrath, your glory, as if it were your own role.
Then if you could please, Ultimo, whenever you can, we'll probably head out for the ruins in the morn.
Please step up onto the table.
And as he says this, the table kind of expands out and shifts and shapes, and the servo-skulls kind of start buzzing around you, getting closer. As we prepare for an augmatic installation. So let's see. I've told you 75% chance. I think he's got a good chance of doing it. Right.
Chance.
Yeah.
I think it's a good chance. So
He's performed this on 4 people, and it was a success in 3 of them.
Shit! This could be using a fave!
4.
He's got this.
Oh! Smashed it. Smashed it.
Sexy bitch. Give me one of those pipes.
I will also shift. I'll shift one of the die
Is that less time?
to have it done in 3 hours instead of 4 hours.
Yeah.
So we do
Yeah, boy.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so Gerhart, for 3 hours, Ultimo and the 2 servo-skulls buzzing around you are working tirelessly, essentially performing brain surgery to you as they cut, tear, open you up, and
I don't like the use of the word tear.
cut, tear, open you up, and install.
Sensor and the eye.
Not the eye. The eye was given to the group, not just Gerhart. I think he's picked up the eye.
Yeah, that's fine. If anyone loses an eye, I think best case.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Now, remind me, are
You can
you
get credit.
are asking it to be a Auspex or a Diagnosta?
Or specs, the one that gives me a little scan of energy, people, peeps.
That one.
As a combat
one.
action, you can detect energy, emissions, motion, and other life signs within 50 meters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oosh, oosh,
Oh,
oosh.
good.
As a scout,
Space
I mean,
Devil's type.
That's like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's perfect for you. Augmatic eye.
So I'm going to pop it in your gear, just so it's there, so you don't have to click through lots of different times.
Okay.
Even Hencher Predator.
Cool. So as the stench of burning human flesh starts to dissipate up through the vents,
Artie's
Gerhart,
flesh.
you can sit up and inspect yourself as Otomo kind of leans back with a slight look of pride, as much as a mechanical face could look prideful. And he says,
"The Omnissiah's work has been done. You are blessed with his gifts."
I will allow Ed and Paul, because you've at the minute just been stood there staring at Gerhart for 3 hours. I'm happy for you to have done something, chatted with Otomo, had something going on as well, because he is capable of doing multiple tasks.
Oh, okay.
Not multiple surgeries, but like, you know, he's yeah.
Argenta wants to sell her augmatic. No, the thing she'd be looking for is the lady who works there, who was the sister of the guy that they just freed from the prison. If there was any within the 3 hours, if she was going to turn up. Because she worked there before. Well, from their prior experience, she works there. Yeah.
Okay. So within the 3 hours, you haven't seen or heard any people moving to or from the farm, other than the shambling movements of the agri-servitors occasionally coming in, dropping off various bits of harvest, collecting things, that kind of thing. There's no human activity to speak of.
Now, I don't know what... Oh, sorry. Well,
No. You go first. This is just...
No, I was just going to say, I don't know what Paul was going to do, but like, towards it would get to a certain point of waiting, she would just say to Paul, was like, what was it? Favia. Paul, we haven't seen this Favia lady. Perhaps we should... Favia. Perhaps we should tell Otomo to inform her that her brother's been freed?
I do not see why not. Feel free to relay that information. Although we did see her earlier in the day. It may well be that she's not finished her shift yet.
Yeah. Or maybe Otomo can inform her when she arrives back.
Yeah. I suppose in that case, allow me. So Paul would sort of sidle up next to the door and sort of lean against the door frame, observing the surgery that's going on, and he would just say, he would probably wait to hang on, is it common knowledge that Otomo or Mechanicus Adeptuses can have this kind of like split level of concentration?
I'd say
that was the idea, right?
Yeah, I'd say you would know that Adeptus Mechanicus are extremely astute at compartmentalizing their work and are able to process things in different ways. So yeah, you wouldn't feel like you're putting them off or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So he would sort of go and lean against the door, observe what's going on for a couple of moments, and just go, Otomo, I was wondering, that lass who was here last we were here, when was she here last? Travium, I believe her name was.
Define lass.
Well, okay. The farmhand, or the girl known as Thravium. She was here when we last visited.
This designation is unknown. I do not catalogue the names of laborers.
You may not know then. Were you aware of the worker who was here when we arrived last.
I am aware there was
she
a female worker. She
That
was sweeping and cleaning the farm. A
Yeah,
pointless
her.
endeavor.
That be that as it may, we had a message to pass on to her. Do you know if she frequents here regularly? Does she work with you or beneath you?
I would say she is here 4 times a week.
Alright, well, we may have missed her then. If I can ask for a favor, would you be able to pass on a message to her for us?
What sort
Get a
of
moment to
message?
spare? Let her know that we met with her brother. He's alive. He's seen better days, but he's doing better. He might be able to return to work soon.
As you
And he would say maybe with an added modification by the Mechanicum.
as you start relaying the message, out of Automo's back comes another arm with a kind of ornate-looking quill, and it starts scratching on some parchment as you're talking behind Automo. So he's
Right,
not
okay,
looking
cool.
at the paperwork, and he's just jotting down exactly, verbatim what you've just said.
I think that more or less covers it. Sister Argena, was there anything more we needed to say?
Query.
No, her
What
brother
is-
is continuing the Emperor's work with the aid of the Mechanicum.
Alright.
What is
Sorry,
the
Cordial.
Mechanicum doing with this person?
Well,
Are they due for servitorization?
I do not believe so. Not necessarily, but I suppose a mechanical aid to one's lost limb so that he may continue to function within the fields. I do
It
not
would
believe
take just as much time to install a leg as it would be to create a servitor. This feels like a waste of Mechanicum time.
but did we not just discuss with the Mechanicum they need the people's aid of this planet?
there would be benefit to that. Increased efficiency through decreased disruption.
And we did
This-
just spend time trying to convince the people to think that the Mechanicum is not a danger to them, did we not?
Am I asleep or awake during brain surgery? Usually awake during brain surgery.
You're 100% awake. Yeah, 100% awake.
While he's cutting into my brain, I want to mention on our way here through the farms, there was synergy between the servitors and the people. Tempers were flared, but we watched harmony prevail. You may want to check your data on the efficiency ratings lately. They may have gone up. Partly due by Poul, I must say. He has a way with people.
I suppose Sister Argena did help as well.
I did no such thing. It was the words of the Emperor and his teachings.
Well, Sister Argena being the conjurer, I guess, then more specifically.
Query. What are the new variables and inputs for this equation?
Last 24 hours.
What has changed in 24 hours?
We were told by Heptex to aid some servitors working into the farms and to not be and to help them not be disrupted by the people, and also convince the people of their worth.
And on the way here, we saw an example that it appears some people are a bit more accepting of the servitors. Now, admittedly, they were still a little bit apprehensive about being taken to be servitorized, but that the Mechanicum were in their right in this case to do so. But if the Mechanicum were to, say, retain one's ability to think, whilst also, I suppose, giving mechanical aid to a lost appendage, it may show that the people still can work without being mentally lost.
Cogitational error. Too many words for numerical variations. What are the numerical data for this equation?
Work output of servitor and human work within the fields in the last 24 hours. Comparative to the last week, would it how many hours that is?
Yes.
Cogitating.
So,
Based on current records, workflow output has increased by 0.01%. Congratulations, you are making a difference.
We are doing our part.
0.1% in the Emperor's name. How beautiful.
0.01%. I mean, you asked. You didn't say specifically Ankara. He's giving you austere numbers, so the numbers are going to be tiny. He, with the same mechadendrite he's used to write the note that's now essentially just drifted down onto the floor. It goes back to the cupboard at the back and opens, and the mechadendrite starts to move between the rafters until it lands on a augmetic leg, and he pulls it out of the racking, shutting the door behind, and says,
Would this suffice for your subject?
It may well do. The
I
man, I
will-
believe, is still being held at the outpost, but I suppose after our venture into the ruins, we may be in a position to be able to unify both the people and the Mechanicus in a way that they will see positively. Benefit all parties involved.
Should you return to me with information on the ruins before any other persons on Ostia, I will install this augmetic on your subject.
I suppose that would make the most sense. You are the most direct route between ourselves, the ruins, and the rest of the settlements.
and with that, he quickly puts the leg back in the essentially chest freezer, and sort of racks it up closest to the door. Yes, Gerhart.
While he's probing around in my brain, he outside. I taste peanut butter. Because he's mucking around with my brain.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah.
Sebastian II, please remove that needle from that part of Gerhardt's brain.
And you see one of the servo-skulls sort of retract this needle.
My apologies,
That's
Lord.
Cool. Is there anything else you want to do within this kind of locked in 3 hours, or shall we progress to Gerhart being all sorted?
Happy for him to be sorted. I've got nothing else in mind.
All Argenta would be doing is praying.
So with that, Gerhart, you are released from the straps on the table with your new augmetic in your cranium. There is a slight itchiness, an itchy feeling, but that will soon subside.
Whereabouts on my head has it been placed? I'm guessing there's a shaped patch.
Yeah, I don't know canonically where that kind of augmetic would go. What I would say is we are talking about 38,000 years in the future. They will have been
patch somewhere.
Well, they would have been able to lift up the skin without shaving the hair.
Oh, okay, cool. My hair's intact.
Your hair's intact.
Mine's not.
You have hair, don't worry, you have hair.
I have roleplay hair.
But can we see it?
I'll
Not the
get
hair.
up and... Oh, the scar.
Yeah.
Yeah, is the scar visible? Or I'm guessing it wouldn't be. My hair just goes over it.
I wouldn't say it's easily visible, no.
Yeah. After it finishes, I would say, if you have the time, this would make my ability to do what I need to do in the ruins far more efficient and quicker to get back to you, Mortimer. If you could please enhance my weapon with this grip, we will be out in the morn to the ruins. And I hand over my chainsword on the table.
Cool.
After that, I'm gonna go, let's test this out. Paul, can you go into the other room? Stand wherever you like.
Sure. Alright, so he's going to take a step outside, in fact, go behind some windows to the point where hopefully no one sees him. And then, just to make it a little extra challenging, Paul is just going to start hovering up like 10 meters off the ground.
Nice. With a thought, I'm gonna end the combat action to sense all people people within 50 meters.
Sure. So, as you attempt to focus on this part of your brain,
Should probably do this.
that's a lot of dice.
I might succeed at hovering.
As you start to focus on this new augmetic that's been hardwired into your brain, you start to get a bluish green overlay as you are able to see specifically the nervous system and the heart of the things within a 50-meter radius. Poul floating up is not an issue for you to get any clarity. You can see the heart beating. You can even see some of the neural pathways interlinking. It is
Step to the door.
an
Oh,
amazement.
so you go here.
No. I was just saying it is an amazement to you.
Yeah, I'm looking around, look at the energy going, unbelievable. And I walk to the door, but don't step out and go, how high are you floating up there, Paul?
I've gone up like 10 meters.
Like
Like Olympic diving board type height.
Shouting out the door, I go, 3 meters to the left, 10 meters in the air.
Yeah, you got me.
And I look up, and as I'm looking at him, I look at Paul and go, I can see your nervous system, how they interlinked, your cortex, your spinal cord, everything. It's like seeing through you. Energy.
Right, okay. Keep your eye on me then. So I want to see what difference you see when I land and stop sustaining these powers. So Paul is going to land onto the ground and then reseal his mind from the warp. Effectively stopping himself from sustaining the power as he lands gently back onto the ground. I'm interested to see, did you notice much difference in my physiology just then?
I look. Eyes squinting.
Gerhart, you don't see any difference. You just see Gerhart as he was. There's no tangible effect by Gerhart, Poul using the warp powers or not. This augmetic is not able to detect warp power.
I can only see your life. Whatever power you use, I cannot scan.
It's good to see what the limitations of that augmetic is.
What I would say is you are able to see some of the intricate wiring of the servo-skulls and the augmetics and various upgrades on Automo. So you are able to see that power, the electrical power, not
Cool.
warp energy.
Gotcha. Kind of marveling at it, looking around. This will do well.
Argenta slams a book. Well, please, Lord Gerhart, tell us of the beautiful display when you purge the xenos and the heretic, what it looks like. I would love to know what the colors you see.
Nice.
If there are xenos on this planet, there may be many colors, but I'll be painting with one. Red.
And she walks out blissfully, holding her book to her chest.
So, you leave Automo to install this upgrade for you. He tells you it would have taken 3 hours to finish this. However, because Automo is such a technical wizard, within 1 hour, you hear the
Tech wizard.
Omnissiah's blessings have been rectified on this holy chainsword. It is done.
I can't escape the building.
Your skills are impressive, Automo. It would seem I have come to the right man. Thank you. This will aid in our mission to the ruins. And as promised, once we are done, you'll be the first to know.
This is good. If you do so, I will uphold my side of the bargain and install this leg on the surf.
Nice. I'm going to also let the other two know, obviously we'll go out on first light, and I also hold up the eye, because I don't want us to head out at night. That's a bad idea. And
I
obviously
cannot
if
see.
they agree as well. Yeah, legally blind. And I also hold up...
Sorry. I've added the upgrade to the chainsword. Have you added an
Yeah.
effect called dueling?
Oh, I was getting ready just in case it wasn't done, and I was getting ready to make it if it wasn't there. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I
Okay.
don't want to waste your time and just keep
No,
the game going.
that's fine.
But if it works, then it works.
The upgrade's in the weapon, so it should work, but obviously if it doesn't, at least we've got that as a backup.
Okay.
Cool. Go for it.
Cool. Nice. Yeah. Okay, sorry. What were you going to say, Paul? Was that Paul that said something?
I thought you were talking.
Was it me?
Yeah, I think
I
Gerhart was
remember,
talking.
I was
Oh,
gonna-
sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
Gerhart.
It was me. So obviously we'll be. I think we should leave in the morning. I think a night incursion is not our best bet. But I don't know if you saw, but Automo did bestow us this gift. It's an augmetic eye.
Mighty
Could be
kind of-
useful.
What kind of
Now,
eye
whether
is it?
we can
You
only-
ask?
No, I didn't ask. He just said it was a replacement eye. I don't exactly know what it does. But they usually have many benefits. It could either be installed at whenever we like. But it is here. It is something we have.
Yeah. Out of character, that's me asking like what pattern of the augmetic eye? Does it have the auger? Does it have the knight? Does it have picked recorder? That kind of stuff. Because you pick one of the following in the list.
This one has... Wow, this one has all 4, but I'm 5. I'm assuming it's one of them. It just doesn't say.
Well, Paul, it could be of use to you and your tainted mutant flesh. I myself would not want to do anything that would improve work of which he has done on our mortal souls, but you could probably do with some changes.
I'm changed enough as of this moment, Sister Argena, but thank you for the concern.
Let
Son,
us hold it for a rainy day. You never know. An eye for an eye does leave the whole world blind.
That it does. What were you going to say, Tom?
sorry, Simon, were you asking what version of the augmetic eye it was?
Yeah, that would be like what Paul would be asking.
So they're interchangeable in the sense of an augmetic eye can be programmed to be any of those.
Oh, okay, so it's a choice on installation.
Yeah, but you can't change it sort of ad hoc.
Yeah.
It would if you have an augmetic eye and say you picked the Presense goggles, you'd have that until you had another surgery to have it updated and changed.
Got it. Okay, cool.
We'll save it for a rainy day.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pray to the Emperor we don't need it.
Indeed.
Absolutely. Well, I think we should get some rest. If we're going to head out to the ruins, we need to be strong, capable, and fed. Agreed.
Agreed.
Agreed. I need some time to meditate.
As do I.
I'm to Gerhart.
And now we sleep. Just trying to remind myself what the Psykers do in their time before bed. It was a set of rigorous disciplinary actions, I believe. 131.
Ah, there it is.
That would just be flavor, etc. It was just like it's something that he has to do.
Which Gerhart are you? You this one?
I think so, yeah.
My screen's gone black. It's not. Is that just me?
Screen's gone black. I'm wondering.
I mean, none of you. You guys haven't gone upstairs.
It's just very dark. Yeah, it's not black. It's just very dark for me.
Oh, is it?
It is nearly 10 o'clock at night, and there are no light sources apart from the ones in Automo's office.
Up to bed.
Yeah, I mean, he would have gone to Paul would have gone to bed before he could no longer see anything.
Yeah.
Like a normal person.
Oh, the stairs work!
Yeah, James taught
they
me
do.
things.
Oh, there's 2 of Argenta now.
Ah,
Double the purging.
nice.
Welcome to Purge. Was it Purge something plus? What was that fucking morning? Yeah.
I've noticed that the teleportation tiles have stopped working for me in my D&D game, and I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta fix that.
Focus. Let's get to bed.
Yeah. And
Damn it, I went back.
I'm trying. Oh god.
Isn't there like a 3rd floor?
There is.
How do I get to the 3rd floor?
Yeah, how do I get to the 3rd floor?
Edge is
then?
so close.
Most of the time, it's best just to drag the players to where they need to be instead of.
Ah,
forcing
I
them
found
to,
it.
You know what I mean? It's just faster.
I got it.
It doesn't add anything. Watch them to go.
Right.
Going downtown town. She's in her bed, doing some worship to the Emperor. Do 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 do. Burning heretics. Do 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 do.
Right. You're all upstairs. You are once again back in the bunkhouse. Row upon row of empty beds. Nothing has changed since you were last here. There are still the misbegotten goods left behind. There is nothing else to say, really. It is nighttime. What do you want to do?
Sleep.
You sleep. You sleep.
Eat, pray, sleep.
I sleep, and before I do, I place my chainsword and I mutter a vow quietly against my chainsaw with my eyes closed, as the absolvers do, and I say, "My thirst sometimes overcomes me. It has been seen. I must redouble my efforts to hold back the storm, to see more colors than red, to hold and use the... I forgot what it's called. It's called the Codex Astartes. Close to me. I must keep my mind my own. I vow to stave off the thirst.
Nice.
As I make a personal vow.
Nice.
Cool.
Wonderful. This is good. These are good things for an absolver to do. Keep doing those good things. Ed, Simon, Argenta, Poul. Anything or sleepy time?
Sleep time! I'm trying to find exactly what it is that the Psykers do, but I've lost it in one of the... wherever it is. But
I would say it's meditational fortitudes. It'd be about
basically,
working through those defences, ensuring that you are well gutted from the perils of the warp, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but before I can allow myself, or at least my body anyway, to try and fall to slumber.
Yeah.
While some part of myself is always vigilant.
No. Argenta would just be praying to the Lord and would just... Well, Emperor, today we managed to convert some of the peasant folk to understand the use of the Mechanicum. There was even a wayward soul with a missing leg uttering absolute madness that we managed to bring back in tow and back to your flock. And hopefully, if we can purge whatever vile taint is on this world, we can perhaps even bring back his limb and spread more of the message. Even if it only takes one soul at a time, we shall do so.
I got real. Dear Diary.
Dear Diary.
Beginning of that.
Dear God.
Like, Dear Emperor.
Dear Emperor.
Are you guys looking to wake up at a particular time? Because respiting can be, anything really.
Well, get up in time to leave at dawn.
Yes.
I
Sorority
think
is
it's what- it's- I
very, what was it? I imagine Astartes, Astartes are pretty much the same, just very physically well trained, very disciplined, and everything would have been wake up at 6 a.m, eat gruel, pray, exercise, do more, pray.
Sure. So you all head off to bed for a fairly soundless sleep. Waking up at the crack of dawn as the sunlight shines through the windows. It is early, and coming through one of the broken windows you do hear the ever-going drilling and movements of the servitors still out working the fields. It is the next morning, so if anybody needed to, for whatever reason, bring their wounds back or anything like that, you have had a respite. Otherwise, It is a new day.
It's a new dawn. It's a new life.
For me.
Morning. Hope you all slept well.
Much more so than the night prior.
Let's continue with the Emperor's work.
I suppose we should head to the ruins then.
Are you ready to purge some xeno scum?
Oh, yes.
Then let's strike where the iron is hot. We move out.
Shotgun?
Wants to be up in the front line.
Yeah. My business in
Why am I not
the
teleporting?
back. So we're not got to the exact tile.
I'm making my way to the top of the shitty mountain.
Don't worry. Ed!
Just pull him down.
I can't pull him down. I have to move him down. Stop.
I'm moving back. You moved me.
I am moving you.
Control C, delete, Control V, outside. Easy.
That would have been much easier. Right, you all head downstairs.
I cannot mount.
Click on the thing, press M.
Yeah, I did. Oh, there we go, finally. Close the door behind. We'll power up the engine.
Where's Ed?
Probably
I'm in it.
behind the tank.
I'm in
Run
it.
over.
Oh,
I'm
I can't see.
underneath
you
it.
are.
All right.
I'm
Oh,
in
there
it.
you are.
Can you
Yeah,
not
no,
see
no,
me?
I could see that. I could see that. Right, so you all set off. That beautiful purring noise of the Chimera. The engine ticks over, and you head off on your foray.
Can I see if the heavy bolter is removable or not?
Flip a coin.
Anything's removable with a sharp enough tool.
Flip a coin. On a 1, I'll say it is physically possible to remove it without damaging.
How do I roll a
Roll
D2?
Roll 1d6. On a 1, 2, and 3, you're okay. 4, 5, 6, you're not. You can't remove it without damaging the Chimera.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's this.
It would be that, yeah. Right, let me grab this.
Driving with a fervor.
Grab this. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. And activate you.
Whoa.
Why have I got ship noises? I don't want ship noises. Wow.
Pause the game.
Pause the game.
If it's not paused, I'm going.
I know. Right, so
In the name of the Emperor, we've got places to be.
Paul,
Fuck your paws.
Gerhart.
What? There's more of them.
They're dead. They're dead, Sister Ogena. Oh,
Sorry,
apart from 20 of them.
Right. You leave the farm. The noise of the Agrihans in the distance doing their toil. You carry on, trying to retrace your steps back to where you found an opening in the forest, allowing you potentially through to the ruins. The going gets tough. These are not tracks that were built for a tank. These are forests. So I will require Gerhart for you to roll me a pilot test. Now I just need to double check.
Has anyone got a decent pilot to help him?
I don't think.
Who's my navigator?
Can I assist? I've got a 3. Can I assist? Can I help?
Oh, you'll be the best person to help. I only have 2.
You can offer help, yeah, it's not a problem.
Can I offer help?
I mean, and to be fair, you're also riding shotgun. Paul is not.
So it would be a DN4 pilot test as you slowly, carefully try to navigate around the big, heavy trees, or big, thick trees.
So can he add my 3 to that?
Yeah, if you're helping him.
Yeah, I'm helping him. You get another 3, buddy.
Oh, good dog.
DN4 with a bonus 3.
Okay, it's adding a +1. I'm assuming that's from my Space Marine. I haven't even clicked it. It's just adding I'm putting in 3 and it goes up to 4.
Is it because you've got something on the right-hand side of the pop-up window that comes up when you make these additions that is giving you a +1 DN?
It's not a DN, it's a dice pool. I've added 4 into the base.
Not going into DN gate again.
Okay, never mind. That looks promising.
Wonderful! And you can shift.
I'm gonna shift for time. I think. No, I'm gonna shift for
Not a
glory.
wheelie.
Shift for glory. Go for it.
Yeah.
Is it Fast and Furious it?
Okay, so you successfully navigate through the dense thicket of woodland as you come across somewhere all too familiar to you. Potentially, for those who may have a conscience, it might even haunt your dreams as the tank slowly rumbles up towards the shabby outpost. As you get closer, you do see 10 people milling about, gaunt looks on their faces, clearly in emotional turmoil and stress, and you can see lots and lots of freshly moved dirt. As the tank tracks go through the earth, you do see the telltale signs of dark staining and liquids.
And roll a corruption test.
Hey, that's Ed laughing, not Argenta laughing.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Ed rolls the
Fails.
corruption test.
Yeah.
Fails.
How much dice pool does Ed have?
As I'm driving up, I go, eyes up. We have more of these children of dawn.
They look up at you.
Did we not get something of authority from the confessor? Probably best get that ready.
Yes, he did say we would have free passage.
Slow down the timer.
As you slow down,
looking-
the people around you they look up from their work, disheveled, disheartened, and turn to face you.
Argenta pops out the top of the tank.
Hello!
Oi, oi! Top of the morning!
Your confessor has given us direct permission and told us we can go through here. Do you wish to try? We hope that no one wishes to stop us once more.
No, sister, don't give it away that it was us. Ah, too late. He whispers from inside.
So,
Gerhart, you're right. She has no filter.
No, she does not.
So, I was going to make them roll a DN3 awareness test to see if they heard the end of what Argenta said, but they wouldn't physically be able to pass a DN3 awareness test. So they are all too morose to really listen and understand what she's saying. They just kind of stop and stare towards the tank.
It looks like the people have been dealt with. Gerhart, drive onwards.
Watch out for any heavy arms fire. Do not want any. We do not want this one to disappear as well.
She grabs onto one of the heavy bolters and she starts peering for anyone looking like they might possibly try and do something.
I'm going to hold an action for any rockets that might come our way, and my action would be to try and crush it midair on its way to us.
You're all so distrustful. You've broken their spirits.
Rightly so.
Rightly, yeah. Well, yeah, rightly so.
Well, yeah.
Right. As you move onwards, you drive as far as you can. The dense forestry, it begins to open out, and you start to see the most unusual features, something that puts you at odds.
It was unlike any trees I've seen before. What is that? Paul, are you seeing this? Sorry, Agenta as Paul.
I'm seeing what you are looking at. It's not like any human architecture I'm familiar with.
Can I do a check?
It is slender, bone-like structures that twist and curve in elegant ways, almost organic, and it looks the antithesis of imperial architecture.
Looks like the ribs of a great beast.
It looks like heresy.
Stay that lasgun, sister. Let them not know we're coming for now.
She pops back in the tank, away from the bolter, and then is aiming the las cannons now.
So I
I'm
will.
going to use my thing as well. Radar.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
50 meters.
50 fucking meters. Yeah, Jesus.
And also, I've got. Thank you for reminding me earlier, like yesterday, I believe. I've also got science.
Science.
Simon Science.
Simon Science.
Simon can.
Which also has a range of 50 meters.
Science. That's it. Science.
Science.
Yeah. Okay. So, what I will say at this point in the journey, the Auspex does pick up on life signs, but you would be fairly confident in believing these life signs to be of small mammals, birds, various creatures of the forest. There's nothing particularly large or something that would look out of place to you. And for Simon, the Simon Science, you do not notice anything warp-ish. I will allow anyone to give me a scholar test.
Ooh, yes.
As we see these bony structures. It is a DN5 scholar.
So I've got a scholar of 4. What's everyone else's?
I have a scholar of 7.
Ooh, hang on, there, Sister Odena. Never mind. I was going to say, Sister, Does this remind you of a certain something, and maybe work together with Sister Argenta and give an extra 4?
Argenta did not want to work with other people.
She got a 6.
But she got a 6. So, Sister Argenta, through your many hours of toil, studying, reading, trying to understand the enemies of mankind, you recognize these bony structures to be... You can't, no, because you'd need...
Yeah.
You need 5. But you do... Do you want to know the answer or not?
Yes.
Clearly. You recognize the bony structure to be wraith bone, often used by the ancient Aldari.
This is Edna Argenta. It appears to be trying to hold back vomit inside her mouth. Wraithbone. Wraithbone. Disgusting. Vile. Signs of what Heptex mentioned of Eldari.
How could such large structures be here on Ostia, and nobody know of its existence except for Ufa? Futa! Why wouldn't he tell anyone of such a thing? Why would you keep this from anyone of the Imperium?
Why? I'm so glad I called the Inquisition. This must be purged.
As you continue driving through this eerie landscape,
So excited.
Gerhart,
Yes.
can you give me a tech test, please, of a 4?
Test 4. Okay.
Tech test 4.
Can someone help him?
They could have helped him,
Oh wait. Wait. Can we
but he-
help him?
but he didn't want help.
I didn't know I could. I didn't know what the tech test was for. It was just tech test.
That's fair. That's fair. You have wrath then.
Have wrath. I might spend. I've got a crit here, boys. I'm thinking 2 glory. Seal the. So I'm gonna wrath this. Try get the dice. Use 2 glory if need be.
Can Argenta help on the wrath?
I'll allow Argenta to offer help because I didn't tell you specifically what it was for, but it was a tech test.
I said straight away.
I know, but James is very eager.
What I will say from now on,
Excited.
if you roll before receiving help, no givesies backsies. You've rolled.
Yep.
That's fair.
Okay.
But we needed to know that. We needed that framework.
Yeah,
You've got it. Now.
yeah, we
You've got it
did.
now.
We needed Dad to set the groundwork.
Eat your vegetables.
Bitch.
If you don't eat your vegetables, you won't get dessert.
Right.
Alright, help me, bitch.
So
what am I doing?
have the help
4.
first. You've got a 4.
4.
Yeah.
So Simon, James, just roll your tech test again, but with a +1 bonus die. So that'll be the 4 then.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and then add them to the first one.
Yeah.
That's another success.
That's a success, and it was a
What have you given you
DN4,
for
so
successes?
he succeeds and he gets a critical. Okay. So, in the cockpit of the Chimera, James, the various screens and Auspex information that is being fed to you as you are driving along about wind conditions, speed of the vehicle, roughness of terrain, that kind of stuff. The devices, the screens, they start to flash and bug and sort of start to glitch out. But You give it the old classic bang, 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 and it starts to work again. The Chimera keeps
See what you do.
keeps on running.
It's technically called percussive maintenance.
Percussive maintenance.
It genuinely is.
As you are driving, you feel the wheel fight you a little bit. You're kind of trying to steer it in certain directions, but the wheel's almost saying, actually, I want to go this way. Now, with your critical, I will give you for free that you feel the sense that maybe I should listen to this.
I start slowly braking. Something's wrong. It's like the machine spirit of this chimera is fighting me. I'm pouring all my strength in to keep her straight, but she's trying to turn me around.
So I didn't explain that very well, so I'll give you more. Have you ever driven a car that's got like lane assist?
No, I haven't, but I know what it is.
Yeah. So it's not trying to turn you around. It's more like, say you were gonna go left down a pathway, it's saying, actually no, we want to go right. But you get the feeling that this is a good thing.
Lord Gerhart, is it the Musk protocol?
It seems to be trying to send me a mask protocol. Yeah, nice.
Oh yeah.
I kind of take my hands off the wheel and accelerate.
Okay. The Chimera drives true. It doesn't drift. It takes you down a darker path that was ever so slightly hidden.
Is it by a river?
It isn't by a river.
Nice.
Down by the river. And at the end, you see this unusual structure jutting out from the edge of the mountain. It clearly looks like what you might believe to be some sort of unusual xenos entrance to some sort of mountainous, cavernous environment. The Chimera is very much driving right to that entrance.
Utah has some explaining to do, indeed.
Are there... Can Argenta look for any... Are there any tracks? And if there are there any human? And then there are any potential xenos?
These are good questions.
Just as you're saying these things, like Paul would be out loud within the vehicle that we're in going, now where would humans be taken here?
I will give you for free. I will give you for free that yes, indeed, you do see the footprints of the long gait, short tread variety that you saw in the fields before heading to the ruins.
Are there any human ones?
For that, I will require an investigation, please. DN... I'm assuming you're doing this from the Chimera?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's a DN4.
I have 5 investigation, by the way, if anyone wishes to help.
Ah! We've lost James.
We have lost James. I would I would say based on your positions within the vehicle, it makes more sense for Gerhart to be helping with this investigation, seeing as Paul is sat a bit further back in the vehicle. he can't really do much for that kind of help.
Okay. My investigation is a 3.
It's the same as
You
mine,
get-
so
Yeah, you get 3 die.
So do a DN4 with bonus 3 on your dice pool for investigation. That's a lot of dice. It's not enough though.
Nope.
You are welcome
You
to
have-
spend wrath if you want.
And we have glory.
Ooh,
have
but
some-
glory only does 1 dice, does it?
Glory does 1 dice. 1 wrath will re-roll all your fails.
But you have to go wrath. You have to spend wrath and then use glory. You can't
Yeah.
re-roll the glory.
yeah, you got to do the wrath first.
Yeah, I think I've got to do wrath.
I mean, it'll be
It-
used. Don't
yeah.
save it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh,
It's just died.
that was weird.
God has just died, which means we win, obviously.
You win, yeah, you win. That's fair. You right.
Yeah, wrath it. And glory it if you have to.
Yeah. So just
Oh, I saw like a fucking. Is it just me? Anyone else saw like the chaos critical fail then for like a second?
no.
I did on my screen. I was like, oh no!
So, you can shift if you wish.
Yes.
Are you going to shift for glory or shift for a better outcome?
No, I can't ask.
What?
Better outcome. 'Cause
Better
I
outcome.
want to know if it's potential foot size of if there are human footprints. Are there any I would possibly recognize from like size? Would it look like the size of footprint of someone I've seen?
So, that's a really hard test because foot size is quite generic. What I
It's
will,
Yeah,
Basically,
usually
does
when-
it look like a
you-
futar foot?
so you've passed the test. You've checked for human footprints. You can see human footprints. There are human footprints, not as many as the Xenos footprints. There are much fewer.
Are they?
And with the shifted better outcome, I will tell you that there are some human footprints that looked like they're being dragged. There are some human footprints that, with the way that the mud has been impacted, you might think that maybe one of them's been pushed down and they've done maybe a handprint and they've had to be pulled back up. You might deduce from this that perhaps the people being dragged here weren't dragged of their own accord.
Makes sense. I think we kind of gathered that.
Yeah.
Well, they could. There could be No, this is.
You didn't
Well-
see any footprints that necessarily made you think, oh, like they
willing.
want to be here kind of thing. Yeah.
No, that's good. Well, not
Happy
good.
feet.
Happy feet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not,
no happy feet.
Not good, but I mean,
No
like,
one was skipping. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm not saying it's a. It appears they've. I see the same Xenos-sized footprints that we saw before on the way to the farm. But even worse yet, I can see blessed signs of our holy servants of the Emperor have been. Looks like they've been taken, dragged. We must purge these scum.
and I will give you, because I think this would have been a better shifted outcome, I will give you that the footprints of the Xenos look like they've gone out, and the same number have returned. So their footprints going away, and there's footprints coming back. Fresh footprints coming back.
With a determination, looking out the window as well, while Agenta is beside me, doing on the ground. My hands are gripping on the wheel, but not controlling the chimera. And I go, for this sister, this is a special vow. For I, Brother Gerhart of the Absolvers, vow that for any of Xeno's scum on Ostia who have taken our people shall meet my blade unbridled.
I cannot wait to hear the hymns of your chainsaw blur.
For the Emperor.
So, you see what appears to be some sort of entrance ahead of you. The entrance would be far too small for a chimera to get through. What would you like to do?
Ah, so we don't get to bring the tank into battle with us.
Oh, we could load them up, but I
Time to
suggest...
disembark.
Yes. We must rescue the people at all costs. We must see to the people first, and then purge the xenos. Or if any get on our way, obviously purge them as well.
Magenta, is your weapon loaded and you have plenty of ammunitions?
It appears I've only got one magazine, but it should be enough. If worst case.
You didn't get more last time? Last session? I thought you
He's got two. He's got one spare and one in the tank.
I'm gonna grab off my belt a spare mag. Make them count.
She pockets it. Thank you, Lord Gerhart. I shall make them pay.
And I'll take one off whenever I can. And then I say to Paul, your mind is whole. We are about to enter the lion's den. Paul, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'll
No,
scout
it's
ahead. If you let me scout ahead if I go forward first, I'll stay silent and I'll scout ahead. And I tap my head.
My lord,
Pressing a button.
would you be, with your newfound gifts from our Holy Emperor, would you be able to sense the location of humans between xenos?
I have not been able to test this out yet. Do not know the capabilities. But I do know I can detect life. This is what we do. I may not be a full brother yet, but my training is a scout. I can stay invisible if I want to be. If you follow closely, I'll scout ahead.
Is there anything in the tank, Tom, before we exit out of the tank that I can requisition?
A good question. Glad somebody asked her. Do me a...
Chameleon cloak.
Dear Emperor Daddy, please
Oh
may...
my god! That's an eviscerator. The fuck new? Where did that come from?
Motherfucker.
Just equip the door.
2 seconds because I'll get you to roll. I just want to...
Oh wow, a heavy flamer, dope.
An orbital strike button? Oh wow.
Terminatus, Terminatus, Terminatus.
I'm just thinking of the check.
No, I'm trying to decide if it's awareness or investigation, because investigation, the way it reads, is like detective investigation rather than like actually looking for shit.
They're both the same for me.
Okay, roll either one of those. What you roll will determine what you find, essentially. So there's not a DN, it's just the higher the number, the more nice stuff you'll find.
Could I get help?
Are other people looking?
Are you asking me to look?
Well, if whoever's got...
Are you asking if you want to look?
I have 5 investigation and 5 awareness. If somebody has either or of those, that's...
I have 7 awareness.
Oh!
Yes, I'm adding that. Fucking yes.
Right, roll your 12 clackety-clacks.
Clackety-clack.
What?
Don't come back.
What's the DN?
So just DN doesn't matter because it's the more you get, the better you get, essentially. Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
Oh, 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 oh.
Considering I'm helping look, could I please use my wrath?
Yeah, go for it.
Wait, does Raph
I'll use my wrath, bring it down to 2, but if you want to use your wrath, because I can't wrath something that you rolled,
Yeah.
use your wrath and then, give your wrath back.
I've already... Okay. I've already used your Wrath, but I'll use my Wrath, my second Wrath.
And give it back. Give it back to yourself.
Okay.
What have we got?
That's a lot of ones.
That's a lot of
Oh, look at that.
That's a bit
11.
better.
Oh, let's see what this complication is.
Roll it.
Ah!
Oh.
Oh, yes!
Ah, okay.
Yes! Yes!
No, it's,
Yes!
at least it's not a
gods.
chaos god.
No. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh no, or a potential foe. Fuck. You know what? It's better than the chaos gods. I'll take that.
It is better than the
fine,
chaos gods.
I mean, if we lure them out towards the tank, we can get back in the tank.
Yep.
Getting out of the tank, I'm cutting someone apart. Back it out.
Yeah, I've got a cannon. So what do I get with my 11 successes?
With your 11 successes, let me get this for
Oh,
you.
4 shifts. Fucking hell. Oh no.
Yeah, you don't have to
I don't
do
get
any
any
shifts
shit.
in a minute. No, let me just work out some numbers here. Let me work out some numbers.
Flame.
There's not any weapons left in the back of the Chimera. I'll give you that for free.
Grenades.
Grenades would be classed as weapons.
Chameleon cloak.
Right.
Power armor.
I like power armor. Here you go, Paul.
Right, let me just...
I'm glad you got this
down.
fucking jacket.
Thanks. Jacket is going to come in supremely helpful.
Yeah.
So, you find a survival kit to start with.
Ooh.
Nice. Whatever that does.
That does.
You also find a old dusty Vox bead.
Ooh. Good.
Fucking finally.
Good.
Only one, but you do find one. And you also find Where is it? Oh my god, look at that bus.
What is the range on said Vox speed?
It should give you the information in the item, but it's like a kilometre? 1,000 metres, yeah, 1 kilometre.
1,000 meters. I've got a 7 to stealth, by the way.
Nice. And you also find in a basket underneath a chrono.
A what?
A chrono.
Chrono.
No.
I'm
would be
guessing
known-
it's a timekeeping device.
It would be known as a watch, yes.
Based on the Greek Chronos.
Mm-hmm.
I can't seem to grab it.
They're all back here.
I know, but I can't. Our Genta cannot move. She's stuck inside the tank.
I don't even know where you are.
I was in the tank.
I guess to start deleting our tokens. and bring us back in.
Press N. I can't even delete Simon Ed because I can't see him. Ed, click on the tank and press N.
I'm pressing N.
Okay.
Now move around with your keys.
That's right.
Whoa.
Get rid of him.
I
Get
found
rid of
it.
him.
Invisible. We're getting out anyway.
Yeah, we are getting out anyway.
The fuck does a survival kit do? A compass, a rope, water, purification and filters, and chemical testing strips. Ooh, 1 bonus die to all survival. That's pretty good.
Mm.
That's. I'll stop being so pissy.
Bitchy.
Yeah.
Sister, set your frequency to my Vox speed. This will come in handy. We're inside ruins.
Very handy indeed. And I will. And as she picks up the chrono, I'm going to sync the time.
Would it be
When we
wise
get-
if I took cover up in them there rafters?
Rafters?
What rafters?
I'm looking up the building. There seem to be like lots of little nooks and crannies up in the architecture of the structure.
Okay, so AI generated. It wasn't perfect.
Right. Okay.
What you see in front of you is essentially that kind of wraith bony texture, that kind of white, off-white, bony,
Got it.
spiky tendrils, but it is very much just one
One piece. Yeah.
sort of smallish entrance. Large enough
Alright,
to
okay.
comfortably walk through, but you're not going to get anything too big coming out of it.
Yeah. Never mind.
Well, Paul, as helpful as it will be for you to keep watch, we have to venture inside. Just free the servants of the Empire who have been taken by these vile xenos. We must venture forth.
Well. I suppose-
And how does the terrain look? What, what does it look like as we're trying to get into there?
Well, I showed you what it looked like. So are you going in the entrance? That's the cue I'm waiting for.
So I'm going to go in first, stealthily, and I'm going to, when I get closer to the entrance, I'm going to ping for life forms. And looking back, I'm going to say, Magenta, if you could back me up, staying at least 10 away.
Okay.
You know your effective range. You hang a little bit back. Once I've found out, once I've looked through the area, I'll give the all clear and signal. Genta, you've got me on the Vox speed. Make sure you're synced up. I'll let you know.
She syncs up the Vox speed with Gerhart, and then keeps a very safe distance, if not just at the entrance as he ventures forth, and then as he kind of ventures to that point where he told her to move forward, she would ever so slightly move forward.
Okay, so Gerhart, as you do this prep work, as you go to the entrance and you use your newly found augmetic, You scan, you feel the same familiar woodland creatures, but deep down in the dark, you do perceive something large. Something you can't easily recognize.
The beast.
How much bigger does it look than me?
It would be comfortably, I'd say comfortably half a meter taller than you. If not, maybe more.
Fucking hell. He's a big boy already.
Gerhart's already like 7 foot or something.
7
7 foot
yeah.
4.
Yeah.
So this is
So
kind of
in-
touching 8-ish foot.
So I'm going a little bit ahead, trying to be stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
I say in the Vox.
Mm-hmm.
Something large. Myself. Please,
That didn't come through super.
Yeah, I didn't get any of
Yeah,
that.
that was true.
I was hoping that it must be a little bit too much. I basically say there's something very large, bigger than myself, 10 meters in height, at a distance of whatever that is.
She's going to try and whisper back. Lord Gerhart, should we try and lure it out and take it out with the tank?
Back in the Vox speed. The bridges that we went across, I do not know how sound they are. If they were to collapse with us in it, it would be game over. I believe we're on foot from now.
Yes, I'll inform Paul. Off Fox speed. Paul,
Yes.
we must... Shh! God's sake. Emperor's sake, Paul. Be quiet. We must be careful. There's something
I'm
very
using stealth.
bad.
Very nice.
Gerhart, beckon us forth when he sees fit. We'll follow his lead on this.
So, as you are navigating the hollow, Gerhart, are you using anything to help you navigate to see?
My eyes.
Your eyes it is. So,
Let's have a look. Does my Auspex do anything else? I am changing frequencies from like using combat actions while I'm like moving forward, and I'm trying to detect energy emissions, motion, and life signs, and I kind of click between the three as I'm walking through, and I'm like really low to the ground, and I'm being as quiet as possible.
okay. So, you don't have a direct light source, so you are in total darkness. Which, as you know, for you, isn't actually total darkness, it's the step up, but it's the conditioned total darkness.
Okay.
Ed, Sister Argenta, and Paul, are you two entering the cave, or are you holding back?
We are holding first until Gerhart tells us otherwise.
Okay,
On
Gerhart.
the Vox, I'm saying, move up 5.
Gerhart,
Alright.
give me a survival, please, with a DN of 10.
Jesus.
Uh-oh. If needs be, I can light the way. Oh,
Got this survival kit with an extra DN of 1.
Okay.
ooh.
Let me just change this. I assume you won't be able to see everything. Oh! Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Gerhart, you are happy to proceed for now.
So it's really, really fucking dark, right? I'm gonna
It's
go into the
really, really fucking dark.
So I've taken 5
Okay.
meters forward, as Gerhart has said.
I go in the Fox speed. Magenta, come to me with Poul. It is too dark to see through. I'm unable to ascertain what is within. There is no life within these halls, but I don't know what else there is in here. We're gonna need a light source. Out.
Do I have a light source? I've got a compass.
I do.
Oh, yes. Well,
But Gerhart doesn't know that's been asked. Paul doesn't know that's been asked for.
well. she will. As you can see, we have no light source. Must move ahead to find Gerhart.
Does he think that it is safe to produce one?
I don't think we have much choice, unfortunately.
All right. Well, let's see what we can do. And he snaps his fingers and does this. Psychic torch.
Psychic torch.
Just 2 shifts. Fuck yes. Get that glory.
Do we want the glory? I can shift one to glory. Yeah, let's shift one to glory, and then I'll do the other shift to be increase range by 5 meters. That I can move it 5 more meters away from me if need be.
Cool.
So this one I will shift to glory, and this one I will shift to potency, and we do that. I don't know why I'm rolling damage, but there we go. So I have an orb that can produce light.
Wonderful.
She does.
That I can now move 10 meters in any direction.
I
or have
do
it
not
orbit around me.
know how to create that for you.
It's fine as long as the effects are away and we can see stuff and.
But I will now say that you are no longer in total darkness, you are in light.
Right.
So you have no
what you-
negative effects.
I don't know if that's something that you can do in this system, but if you double right click on my token, you should be at one of the tabs is like light.
It
You
is.
should be able to put in a number for light. So maybe you could just have the light centered around me for now. Of an arbitrary size.
Have you now got light?
I don't know. I think so. There looks to be a bubble following me. Alright.
It looks like stealth is out the window. We're going to have to carry forward together. It's too dark in here.
What would be the colour of your warp-based light?
Oh, I can choose.
I'm happy to flavour it.
These doors.
No. Like a pinky, purpley.
Red, as would be tactically advantageous because it doesn't disrupt our night vision should we suddenly need to snuff it out.
There we go. Poul has a 5. Was it? Oh no, you've boosted, haven't you? So it's 10 meter.
It should be 10. Yeah, 10. Well, so the 10 meters is how far away I can independently move it from me.
I'm keeping
But,
it
yeah.
as you got 10 meters. That's nice and easy.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, Paul.
I want to make awareness, or I want to look around. So, like, I'm kind of like, I've got my hand on my chainsword, hand on my Astartes combat knife, and I'm like crouching through quietly while like looking at the floor, looking at the walls, looking at everything.
Give me a 2d6, just flat 2d6. That is a 4. So, as you are walking around, Gerhart, you are being extra cautious. You are being prepared for anything. And you come across a small cave between two tunnels, and they contain ragged, unidentifiable human corpses. They are chewed and eaten, the bones cracked and sucked of their marrow.
And the Vox speak quietly. Magenta, we have casualties.
We shall avenge them. And with that, can she look to see if she can find trails of that same Xenos footprints that she saw outside? And if there's any human footprints as well.
Again, because you're in full light, the floor is illuminated to you. As you're walking around, I know it looks like it's flag paving, but I just couldn't get it right in the map maker. It's kind of like rocky, wet, watery floor, so there's nothing really for footsteps to leave. There's not mud, there's not slush, it's solid floor with patches of flooding and pools of water, that kind of thing. So in terms of
evidence of blood,
there is definitely blood. There is definitely all kinds of liquids and nasty things to be seen.
So how I'm going to RP that is when he said that, she looks down and then like notices now she starts seeing the trails of blood. You are right, Lord Gerhart. I can see the trails from here. See if there's any of our kind who are still alive. I pray to the Emperor that there are.
Boom, 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 boom. Looking for signs of life.
Before we do that, Paul, can you give me a survival check, please? DN is 9.
Oh, but I followed Gerhart into this room.
I know, and I'm asking you for a DN 9 survival check.
Great.
What?
It might be a good thing.
How is everyone
might.
fucking moving? I looked away from the screen for 1 fucking second.
Because it's
You
paused.
mean you looked away at the screen for 5 minutes while the other two were walking around the tunnels, and then you've come back as I've paused it because Paul entered a particular area.
What was it? DN9?
DN9, please, survival.
Alright, it's doable, but unlikely.
I can't help you.
Oh!
Yeah.
What's the complication?
Fuck's sake, Paul. You're so lucky she's not there.
I could roll a different complication.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Exactly,
sorry.
Pablo. So as you walk through the tunnels, Paul, you more than anyone in this party know of the horrors that hide just behind the veil of reality. The dark concrete walls, the unearthly excavation, the blood, the viscera. You start to hear the whispers and voices in your head as the thoughts come crushing down, and you will be frightened. You will be feared.
Okay, is there some way that I could deny the witch this?
DN10.
I understand that it's like against me rather than someone else, but yeah. Here we go. This like need you to target a token. Hang on then. Let's just target myself, I suppose. Yeah, 10. Oh, hang on. I need to go.
You are frightened.
I might use a wrath die.
Ooh, you might not be frightened. You are not frightened.
A point of glory.
And a point of glory. Okay, so you hear those voices, you hear the whispers, and the creaking, the snapping of bones, things you're not sure whether they're in your head or outside in the darkness, in the gloom, but you manage to push those thoughts away. Congratulations.
I completely shut off in my mental fortress all entrances in. The light source that I've created momentarily flickers as I struggle against this overwhelming pressure. I added 2 bonus DN because I'm actively sustaining a power. So I managed to just about pass a DN.
Just about
12?
pass. Just about
Fucking
pass.
hell.
Well done.
No, I didn't. I would have failed
It was a DN 10, I don't know why we put 12.
because I'm sustaining light source.
Oh, no, you don't pass. You fail. You are feared.
I'm
You
feared.
are feared.
Shit.
And what I will flavour with that, so you are feared. Is that frightened? That's terror. I don't want terror. I want fear. You are feared. And as the fear sets in, and as I rolled my blind die, you hear the sound of claws scraping on rocks.
The fox. Magenta, where are you?
I was just behind, but I was doing some RP moments, and then you both just kept walking whilst I was looking at the Vox bead.
A guttural growl echoes through the hollow from a long way
We have
off.
contact.
You can't tell which direction it's coming from, but the source is definitely large.
Ding, 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 ding. I used my scanner to find out which direction that was coming from.
It is from directly ahead of you. You'd probably say it's around about 20-ish meters away.
I
Now-
should be able to see the life sign, right? Like, I should be able to know exactly where it is.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's here.
Mm.
19 meters.
Contact, 19 meters. Closing in. Large. Paul. Pull yourself together, man. Fortress.
You do not know what just affected me.
I do not care. Breathe.
What's happening with the mutant, Gerhart?
Warp interference.
I'd like to get closer, but Emperor forbids me.
I'm paralyzed. I'm legally quadriplegic.
With that roar, we end tonight's session.
All right. Nearly there.
Does fear affect your psychic powers?
I'm about to look.
It's everything. DN2.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
fuck.
it just adds a DN2. It affects everything.
Yeah.
You gotta take a shit? DN2.
Wipe
not
your
great.
ass.
Piss?
DN2.
Piss on your pants. Yeah.
There you go.
Tom, that was good. That was a banger.
Tom, did any of
inching
those
closer.
human footprints look like kids' footprints, or were they all like adult footprints?
You didn't ask at the time, so I can't tell you right now.
Okay.
You can do another check when you can see muddy footprints.
Also, question: would Gerhart roleplay of going to Paul, like pull yourself
No.
together,
No.
mental fortitude,
No.
help with the
No.
leadership test?
No. A soul scout marine is not stronger than the chaos gods. I'm not even sure I should allow you to deny the witch the chaos gods. I might have to retcon that, but no.
Okay, no, that's fine.
A scout marine just saying pull yourself together is not going to do it. If it was something more visceral, then I'd maybe allow it. But yeah.
Bitch slap for the Emperor.
A bit slap from the Emperor, yeah, maybe.
That's the first thing I thought.
Fair, yeah. No, I mean,
So how long does that fear last?
until the end of the scene.
Oh, dude! Next time we come in, our glory's wiped, but at least our wrath is back.
Oh yeah, that's a shame.
Oh, you should have spent the glory for the.
Oh,
I
didn't.
suppose you're retconning the deny the witch thing too.
Yeah. To be fair, I didn't know when the scene would end, so I didn't know if I should use the glory in this moment.
To be fair, the way I see it, glory should just be fucking used.
Yeah. We need to start using. We keep building it and we keep not using it. For fuck's sake,
So
we just need to keep
use an
using
extra-
it.
Yeah. maybe
For
we should use an
example,
extra 5 glory
Gerhart
then. Oh well.
might be a bit of a wrath machine, but by proxy, he's actually a bit of a glory machine, right? So I generate wrath by creating bleed stacks. Easy to do. I generate glory. I generate wrath every time I crit. That happens, or anyone else around me, or anyone who crits us. Heaven forbid.
Yeah. So
then
the more
when-
wrath you're using, the more rerolls you're getting, the increased chance of shifting, the increased glory.
Glory. So yes, I actually can generate a fair bit of glory in combat anyway.
Yeah.
So realistically, we don't really need to save it for combat because it'll generate itself pretty quickly.
Okay. Well, maybe I should have used the glory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
I think it's just. Yeah, I think it's best just to use it.
Don't view
just
glory like inspiration. Like glory and wrath. Like the rule book is, it says to dish it out fairly frequently. So
Literally, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I just got to get into a habit of using it. I think probably we all do.
But if
Yeah.
anyone steals glory,
Corruption.
you will be in trouble.
I don't
It's
think
called. What is it called? It's called like corrupted glory or something. You have to make a corruption test if you don't get the blessings of all the players.
Glorious greed, I think it's called.
Yeah. Glory. Yeah, something like that.
Glorification
So
of
basically-
greed, something like that. Yeah.
Oh fuck! I should have used it on the fucking heavy bolter. God damn it!
We didn't have quite as much for the heavy bolter at that point.
Also,
yeah.
the
Yeah, I mean,
heavy
yeah, you
bolter
could've
was a flip of a coin. Like you couldn't have used it then.
Oh yeah, it was a flip of a coin.
That was
Okay,
just.
no,
I didn't want to outright say no, but it was just a flip of a coin.
So, what is our allotment so I know what to do with my XP?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question, actually.
I feel like there was some pretty good juice today.
There was some really good juice today. So let's see. So obviously everyone gets 5. Well done. Everyone gets 5. Round of applause.
Yay.
229.
229.
I liked the interaction with Gerhart and Poul, essentially allowing Ankara to be Ankara. I thought that was a nice interaction with the two of you, so I'll give you an extra 1 there because that was a nice learnt moment, I think.
230.
And for the work at the farm, I'm gonna give Gerhart. I'm gonna give everyone 2 because there was some really nice use of help. And there was some good role play. So that's 5. Everyone's got 7, and then Paul and Gerhart have got 8 for the extra 1.
Oh.
Unless I got my maths off on that.
So,
5, 6, 7,
so James and I are
8,
on 232.
232.
And because Ed decided to be late, he gets one less.
So he's on 231.
No. No. Got 15 XP that I can spaff.
Okay, I'm gonna spaff that immediately.
Ooh.
I can get a will.
Make sure you put it in middle column if you're doing attributes and skills. Yeah.
I now have 2 experience left.
So you do.
What do you buy?
Initiative, I think.
Initiative.
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
Ooh, I gotta decide
It's
what I want to
4.
buy.
Defense 4 weapons, so my dice pool is 9 plus 1, so that's 10 for my dice pool.
Oh, I've got an extra willpower. Yes.
I get an extra defense, that's 4 instead of 3. With parry, that's 5. That's not bad.
What do you mean you get an extra willpower, sorry?
Well, because I've got 15 XP I can spend, which means I can spend it on extra willpower.
You've got 13 XP.
Yeah, because I've got last session. I've got since last because I haven't spent.
It literally says current 13. Is that not right?
We were on 9.
2, 3, 1.
How much did we get?
Minus 2, 1, 8. 13. You have 13 XP.
Well, I can still get one. I can still get one extra willpower because it's 10 XP.
Do you want to add one extra willpower?
Well, yeah. Because then all I
Boom.
need.
There you go. You have one extra willpower and you've got 3 XP left to spend.
I'm saving that. And then I'm going to get one more fellowship and then
Paul
an
is
upgrade.
Paul's sitting on 22 XP here.
I am.
Ooh.
I wonder what Paul's up to.
I'm thinking of some psychic powers.
Ooh.
I'm trying to get more of that, but I'm wondering if I probably should put some into some more stats. Thinking maybe either willpower or psychic mastery.
This depends how powerful the powers are, really, right? Like, it's that toss-up. Like, is the extra stat push better, or is the diversity of power better? Yeah.
Some of those powers are tasty.
Tasty morsels.
Especially if you're a psyker, you've got some really